The Toyota Kluger is boring. It's a snooze fest. Look at it. Look how ugly it is what I would say, Jacob, if this thing wasn't one of the best all-rounders I think I've ever reviewed. Ever? I'm super impressed with this. I see a million of them on the road. They're everywhere. Every Uber driver and their family has a bloody Kluger. I really like it. I really like it, man. And I just wish I didn't have to say that. I admit it. Come back this way. Guys, this is the Toyota Kluger, or Highlander as it's more commonly known in other markets, and it is a 7-seat family SUV. We love family, Jacob. Ohana means family. I love this thing. I've been driving around for the last week and I think it just ticks so many boxes. Doesn't do everything very well, but it's also just gone through a pretty major change. You see, they've removed the big V6 engine and they've replaced it with a 4-cylinder turbo. Ooh. Is that a bad thing, Jacob?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. It could be. It might not be. You got to watch the video to find out. Yeah, I know, one of those kinds of videos, but it's worth it, I promise you. But if you guys want to get to the chase, you can click up there now and head over to our website. We've got a full detailed review of it up now, and click the link in the description below or the pinned comment if you want the absolute best financing deals. We've partnered with Driver to bring you guys that. Let's get into the review.
Let's do it.
So today we're testing the GXL. That's a mid-range spec. It's going to be the volume mover, and it's actually really reasonably priced. $66,000 drive away. If you have the all-wheel drive as we do, that adds another about $3,000. So you can expect about just under $70,000 drive away, but you'll see you get quite a lot. But when we get to the driving part, you'll also see why I probably would go for the hybrid and spend an extra $3,000 on top of that. This one here is finished in what has to be, in my opinion, the ugliest color. I call it baby boomer blue. And yes, some of you will take offense to that. Feel free to go in the comment section and write about my smashed Avo habits. Totally fine with that. Check this out, Jacob. You get these headlights here that look, I don't know, kind of average.
They look like headlights.
They look like headlights. It's kind of the theme across this car. You've got a grilly looking grille and a Toyota badge there.
Looks like a Toyota badge.
Looks like a Toyota badge. That also is your radar. This thing does have radar cruise control. It's actually got a really large amount of safety tech. If you guys want to learn more about the active safety tech on this car, go to our website, CarSauce.com, and you can learn more about it. Down here, you've got a slightly different colored grille, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about this.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, subtle is a good word.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Well, let's check out the side. So coming to the side here, you've got some 18-inch alloys. There's nothing special about them, but they do have some fat rubber on it, and that will help with ride quality. And as you're gonna see, this thing is very comfortable at the expense of handling like a bit of a toad. Editor, insert the clip of the GoPro where Jacob loses control.
Don't do that.
You've got some black scratchy plastic here. It wouldn't be an SUV without it. You've got some privacy glass there. It's actually really tinted. You've got some roof rails like this. Keyless entry and go, although that would really be expected. There is no 360 camera on this one, unfortunately, Jacob.
It's a bit of a miss for me.
Bit of a miss. And you've also got these kind of cool cuts in the body. It looks definitely like a boat. Again, the back is just super inoffensive. You've got these tail lights here that look pretty decent, I suppose. Kluger badge down there in other markets. As I said, this is the Highlander. You've got the Toyota badge there, and otherwise you do have this very racy looking spoiler.
Kind of like it.
Kind of like it. And then down the bottom, loads of black scratchy plastics. But no one who buys this car cares about that, Jacob. They care about the interior. Let's talk about that. Jacob, I think the second I realized I was wrong was the moment I sat down in this car. Oh. This steering wheel is so nice. I like it a lot. But it's not just the steering wheel, guys. It's everything. I mean, I got in here and I'm like, my gosh, a lot of thought has been given to this interior. Not necessarily in its colors, because it's just a sea of really black plastics, but it's a good looking sea of black plastics. You've got this storage area here that feels really nice. Smart as well. You've got a little cable pass through. Whoop, pop. And you can get a cable through there and have your phone in there. Got another storage area here, some more storage area here for your phone too. No wireless charger, at least not in the GXL. You've also got a storage area to your right, a massive glove box, and check this out, Jacob. Nice, softly padded center armrest. Open it up, slides in. You got a little storage area, maybe holds your phone. And then look at this. Uh-oh, I've lost my arm. The biggest issue with the Kluger or Highlander in the old days was the infotainment display. It just looked really naff. Not good. They've just updated it with this. This is a 12.3-inch display. It is honestly one of the best out there. I'm super surprised that Toyota have even done it. It is so good. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. You've got a couple of USB-C ports, a USB-A port, and a 12-volt socket, so connectivity is good. A couple of cup holders there. You've also got some, I guess, kind of off-roady modes, including mud and sand and rock and dirt, and it's got a cool animation on the screen where when you turn the wheels turn on the screen. I like that. Speaking of, up ahead of you, you have what I'm pretty sure is straight out of a Land Cruiser 300 series infotainment display, analog gauges, and then in the center is a little screen. I mean, it's fine. It can get really washed out, especially when there's light on it like now. It's quite hard to see, I'm not gonna lie, but small complaint because your analog gauges are really good. Best part of the interior, Jacob?
The seats?
The seats. They don't look like anything special. They're a leather unit, but I mean, they look fine. Holy moly, they are so comfortable.
You look pretty comfy there, mate.
Yeah, we've driven a few hundred kilometers today alone, and it is like surreal. These are electrically adjustable in the front as well, and you've also got your lumbar support, which is really strong too, especially if you've got a bad back. That's awesome. Last big shout out is to the air conditioning controls. They're not in the screen, although you can control it from there weirdly, but you've got this analog digital setup here, and it just works so well. That's it. I mean, it's like such a simple interior, but it's pretty awesome.
It's great quality.
One more thing. Soft touch materials are everywhere, which is really important because it helps soak up road noise. If you have a lot of scratchy materials like there, that reflects sound, and it's quiet in here when you're on the road. Let's check out the back seats.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, so back seats. Now, I'm 5'11". That means I'm a pretty typical sized guy. Look how much leg room I have. Toe room is amazing, as is headroom. Now, this is a pretty big car, but I'm super impressed, man.
I mean, they've really made the most of it.
Really made the most of it. Check this out. These seats are so comfy too. You've got a center armrest there with a couple of cup holders. Nothing special, but hey, it works. Look at these map pockets. That's cool too. You've also got air conditioning control. So you've got a third zone of climate. Probably expected sub $70,000, but look, you got your air vents up in the roof. You've also got a couple of USB-C chargers, and I love this party trick, friend. Look at this. You want some more room for the backseat passengers? Wrong lever, this one. Oh, look how far forward I can go.
It moves so much.
That's really good. If you have taller people in the car, then you can all compromise a little bit and get more space in the third row. Speaking of, Jacob, I can't pull back. Speaking of, it's time we talk about that. Okay, let's get into the third row, and doing so is actually pretty easy. So all we do is we grab this, that slides forward, bada bing. Then we clamber on into the back. I've actually slid these seats forward by about an inch, and I still fit perfectly fine if I sat in them. But look at this. That's actually not too bad. Heaps of headroom. I have air vents above my head so I don't feel too claustrophobic. Got a couple of cup holders on each side. And yes, my legs are at not a great angle, so I wouldn't want to sit back here for too long, but it's really not that bad. I'm actually pretty impressed, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rare.
All right, let's talk about the boot space.
Wake up.
Oh, we're back to this. Yeah, it's boring, okay? But that doesn't mean that it's not the best. Check this. God, it takes forever, but you can do some great interpretive dancing. Power tailgate, we love to see that, even though it's not a top spec. Check this out, Jacob. Look at all this underfloor storage and a cargo net. But best of all, you get a full-size spare wheel. It lives underneath the car. We love to see that. Here you have a really strangely placed storage nook, but hey, more storage is good. And you get a really good amount of space, even with all 3 rows up. You can very easily drop these down. The headrests fall down too in one motion. Check out the room. Very impressive, Jacob.
Absolutely enormous.
Now, look at this. We can also put down these seats. So we just pull that, we pull a lever, bam, folds flat. How sweet.
And simple.
Bit of a workout going around this car, Jacob. It's bloody huge. Okay, so let's pull this one down, and then we'll pull this one down. Whoa. Now look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look how much room you get. It's enormous.
Do another interpretive dance.
Wait, I will.
I never knew this was a talent of yours.
Eye-opening stuff. Let's talk about the engine. So here is the biggest change for the Kluger in 2023, and that's that it gets a 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine, Jacob.
Holy
Gone is the V6.
why would they do that?
Why? Why? Don't think like that, Jacob. Don't think, no. Let me tell you something,
Tell me.
and you're not gonna like this.
Okay.
I think this thing performs almost like a hot hatch.
Excuse me.
190.
Take that back.
You take that back.
Take that back. It's a long walk.
You're fine. It is a long walk. 198 kilowatt of power, 420 newton meters of torque.
Those are V6 numbers.
Those are V6 numbers. And not really, because this thing builds power and torque because it's turbocharged right at the bottom of the rev range. So this thing pulls really hard. Now, it is mated to the same 8-speed automatic transmission, and I highly recommend, if you're gonna go for this engine, to get the all-wheel drive, because if you don't, you're gonna be spinning your wheels literally at every light. This thing has a surprising amount of power. Now, as I said, you can spend an extra $3,000 over this spec and get yourself a 2.5 litre hybrid engine, and that really is probably the way to go. You don't really need hot hatch performance because it does come at the expense of fuel economy. I've been averaging about 11 litres per 100 kilometres.
Oofed.
It's a lot. It's no more efficient than the V6 because it's a 4-cylinder having to work harder. Think about it like that. So yeah, go for the hybrid if you can, but if you can't, get the all-wheel drive. And I'll show you why. Jacob, let's launch this thing.
Oh yeah.
All right, bro, we're gonna brake boost, launch it. First, we're gonna put it into sport mode though, and let's do it.
Let's do it.
Fist me hard. Oh, oh gosh.
Come on.
I love turbos.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Ooh.
Ooh.
7.85.
That's pretty damn good. Alrighty, friend, driving the Kluger.
GXL.
Biggest change. We've mentioned it before, I'm gonna say it one more time. We've lost 2 cylinders.
Bloody emissions.
RIP. RIP. RIP.
Global warming.
Can I blow your mind for a second?
Sure.
Oh, we're already in sport mode, mate. We're keen and ready to go. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Ever been in a sports car, mate?
Not really. It's still going.
It shouldn't be this fast. It feels a bit unnatural.
Yes.
From the seat of my pants. I don't know, man. I love it, honestly.
I feel like it has no right to be this fast. Oh my god.
It's got pulling power for days. It just keeps going. Did you adjust the seat?
No.
Okay.
I didn't adjust the seat.
This is the kind of bickering we have, guys. All right, let's see how it goes around the corner. Ah! Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Oh god. Okay.
Okay, well.
Oh, I feel like we're doing the astronaut training with the G's, the G forces.
The thing that spins around.
Yeah.
So yes, we were exaggerating there. It does have a little bit of body roll. It's actually got a lot of body roll.
Yes.
The benefit of it is that the suspension is really soft, so you're kind of like floating along the road. Not really the greatest thing on back roads, friend.
Not at all. But very comfortable.
It is very comfortable. This thing isn't meant to be a corner carver, so I'm not going to be too upset that through the twisties we're going to be going a few kilometers below the speed limit. The reality is that if I'm buying a car like this, I want something a bit softer, right?
But doesn't that just raise the question? Why wouldn't you get the hybrid?
Why wouldn't you get the hybrid? I would.
Me too.
Like, this thing is quick for a big SUV like this.
But who cares?
Who cares? And the issue right now, friend, is fuel economy.
I know.
I'm getting 10.7 litres per 100 kilometres. I am doing things like this though, where I'm giving it a bit of sauce
Oh yeah.
through the twisties.
Look, it's got a decent amount of power.
It's got a lot of power for a 4-cylinder turbo, you know? Steering is relatively heavy. We are in sport mode. If we put it into normal mode, things lighten up a little bit, actually quite a lot. And the throttle response becomes a little bit more dull, but that's all that changes. It doesn't have active dampers, i.e. changing suspension. It's all just one tune and it works really well. Here is where you really notice the difference between the V6 and this new turbo 4-cylinder is when we put it into sport mode. Let's give it a bit of a boost. So we're gonna build the turbo up and let go. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't get that in the V6.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because the V6 builds its peak power when your foot is all the way down and it is revving at the highest rate.
Oh,
if we
God.
turn around this corner, glad we have the all-wheel drive, by the way, because you can get this in a 2-wheel drive, but my God, it will just spin the wheels. Almost went off the road there. It's like weird how quick this is. This is like almost hot hatch territory of weird.
Okay, I mean...
No.
Come on.
No. My Mark V GDI 0 to 100 is similar to this. Think about that. Last thing before we get into our final thoughts is road noise. It's actually all right. The one thing I wish was better was the speakers, but that's okay. If you want better speakers, you get the Grande. Isn't that right, friend?
For a grande amount of bass.
For a Grande amount of bass. With that, let's get into our final thoughts.
Let's.
I'm not gonna lie, Jacob, I came into this pretty biased. I just thought, oh, it's another Toyota. I see them everywhere. Every Uber driver's got it. They're boring, they stanky. Not a fan. I'm completely wrong.
About a lot.
Oh, well, that hurts. What do you think of this thing?
I mean, I think it has no right being that powerful. It makes no sense to me. Just get the hybrid.
Get the hybrid, and I think you're gonna love this thing. I really like it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section, just below that like button. If you want us to get you the absolute best finance, click the link over there. And why don't you watch one of our other reviews? We have the Palisade, which this thing goes up against, and that is stiff competition. And something else, I don't even know. We'll put something there. Thank you guys very much for watching. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.